What's going on, guys? Nate Gaming back with another MLB The Show 20 video. And in today's video, we're going to be counting down every single team affinity. We're going to be ranking them 30 to 1. In this video, it's going to be 30 to 15. And then in part 2, there will be 14 to 1. Now, I'll be honest here, most of the ones that we have on today's list are pretty awful. Like, not even joking. A lot of these are pretty bad. So, I don't honestly... like, the top 15, none of them are particularly that good. So, you could really rearrange these in any order you want, and people would still say it's a good list. But this is my personal opinion on how they should be ordered. Let me know if you disagree in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because that is the best way to support the channel, and it's free. So let's kick it off with number 30. The number 30 team affinity is the San Francisco Giants. I'm sorry, Giants fans, but this kind of sucked. 87 Buster Posey. Yeah, that was not a good card. Their 93 Heliot Ramos. That's also not that good, I'll be entirely honest. 99 Juan Marichal. Not good. Just not good. And then 99 Mike Yastrzemski. Pretty decent, just not incredible. So, I mean, their first three being pretty bad, and this one being mediocre isn't going to land you very high, and I put them all the way at the very bottom, number 30. Next, at number 29, we got the Pittsburgh Pirates. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I'm only going to be rating these off the card, since the rest of the rewards are the same for every single team, except for like the nameplates and the stadium and like these guys. We're not counting the prospect players. We're only doing like the main guys. So Josh Bell, this isn't a bad card at all. Good switch hitting with power at first base. And then we get into Brian Hayes. That hitting isn't good. Fielding and speed are really great, but not much else. Jason Kendall, good contact, that's about it. And then Jacob Stallings, yeah, we all know about Jacob Stallings by this point. Can hit lefties, good defense, but can't hit righties at all. Overall, pretty crappy team affinity, if I'm being entirely honest here. That's why they're here at number 29. Number 28, we got the Detroit Tigers. Now, their first one, 86 Matthew Boyd. This card sucked. Then we got Diaz Cameron, I think that's how you say his name. This card also sucked. This Al Kaline, not that bad. Pretty good hitter, pretty good fielding. Not a bad card at all. Then we get into John Candelario. Honestly, not too good for a first baseman, at least at this point in the game. So, I mean, Kaline was pretty good. Jeimer's okay, but, I mean, still, the rest was really, really bad. And, I mean, that's why they're here at number 28. It seems like all the bad teams are in the lower rankings of this. They can't even win in team affinity. Anyway, number 27 is going to be the Diamondbacks. David Peralta is their first one. Just honestly not that good, if you look at it as a whole. This Alec Thomas, I think that's how you say his name, got no pop at all, no arm. Then we get into Matt Williams. Very, very one-dimensional. Very good lefty hitter. Not good against righties. And okay fielding, I'd say. And then we get into Zach Gallen. I didn't mean to go there. Not a terrible card, but he's not exactly stellar for the finest, so I'm sorry about that. That's why the Diamondbacks are number 27. Number 26 is going to be the Seattle Mariners. First one, Kyle Seager, not a stellar card. Good hitter, okay fielding, just not honestly that good. Then we got Evan White, who's not that bad, I'll be entirely honest. Good fielding for a first baseman, but it doesn't matter that much. Also good speed. And the hitting's okay, I guess, but no one used him. Then we get Jay Buhner. Also, no one used him. He just kind of... And then you'll see a theme here. And then also with this Kyle Lewis, no one really used him. This is kind of similar to the Diamondbacks. You didn't see a lot of these cards when you played. So they kind of lacked an identity, and that's why they're that low. Because it's hard to rank them when you haven't seen them or haven't used them a lot. I know I don't have all of them, but like I haven't seen them play or anything. They kind of just lack an identity, similar to the Diamondbacks. But we're gonna go on to number 25 now. Coming at number 25, we got the Brewers starting it off. Their first three are pretty bad. Lorenzo Cain, 87. This card is terrible, just to say the least. 91 Zach Brown, not bad, not good. Then we got Robin Yount. I mean, if his swing was pretty good, he'd be a good card, but it's really not, and there were better shortstops and outfielders. And then David Williams, the saver, and that's why they're not at, like, the bottom three, because of this Devin Williams card being an absolute unit out of the bullpen. That's why they're up here this high. I mean, they're not even that high. Anyway, 25 is the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 24, I went with the Boston Red Sox. I mean, you could argue they could be lower, but let's go over them real quick. 88, Rafael Devers, not a particular stellar card. Pretty balanced, not great. Bobby Dahlbeck, power hitter, not much else to say about him. Then we got 98, Dwight Evans, not a particularly good hitter. Great fielding, not a good swing, and not a good hitter in general. And then we got Xander Bogaerts, who, with the theme with a lot of these finest cards, that they're very good against lefties, but not that great against righties. That fielding's also pretty bad for a shortstop, so that's why I'm going to have the Red Sox out here at number 24. At number 23, I got the Toronto Blue Jays. Sorry, Kevin G.O.D., but they were just pretty terrible. This Vlad Jr. card isn't good. Neither is this Kevin Smith. These were the two. This was the worst Stage 1 card in my opinion, and the worst Stage 2 card. Then we got over here Tom Henke. Pretty good card. I'll be entirely honest. Very good reliever. And then we go back into the terrible territory of Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I don't know how they're all the way at number 23. They probably should be closer to 26, but whatever. This Tom Henke card was good, so he kind of saved them. And, I mean, honestly, they kind of flew under the radar. That's why they're here at number 23. My oh my, this is paying me to do, but number 22 is going to be the New York Yankees. I'm a big Yankees fan, and the team affinity wasn't good. I mean, they got Gleyber Torres. This was a good card when it first came out. I mean, I sucked with him, but everyone else seemed to do good with him. Then we get the Clark Schmidt, who I used, and he was terrible. Not a good card at all. Then we get into Don Mattingly, who also is not a good card at all. But then we get into DJ LeMahieu, who I was hoping would be good, and he wasn't. So, very, very disappointed as a Yankees fan with this team affinity, and I had high hopes for it. It kind of just went down the drain, I'll be entirely honest, and it really hurts me to put them at number 22. Well, our fourth straight AL East team is going to be the Baltimore Orioles. This Trey Mancini card, 85 overall, bad fielder, pretty good hitting. I mean, he looks like a BR glitch. Didn't use him much, but honestly not that good. Ryan Mountcastle, very similar to that Trey Mancini. Jim Palmer was probably the best. He kind of flew under the radar, not a terrible pitcher at all. And then we get back in Anthony Santander, pretty good hitter. That contact versus lefties is low, and good fielder, but I don't know why this card just never stood out to anybody. So that's why the Blue Jays are going to come in at number 21. Rounding off the 20s, we got the Kansas City Royals. And, I mean, their Stage 1, Whit Merrifield, can't hit for pop. Can play everywhere, just about everywhere, except shortstop and catcher. But he still wasn't a particularly good hitter. Then we get into Brady Singer, who's honestly not that bad. A pretty good Future Stars card. Then we get into George Brett, who's, again, a pretty good Face of the Franchise card. Then we go into Salvador Perez, who was an absolute beast, to say the least. But the reason this team affinity kind of is below behind is because the only significant card in it is Salvador Perez. The rest kind of lacked of an identity. You didn't see this Brady Singer much when he was in full effect. You never really see this George Brett, and you rarely saw this Whit Merrifield. So, I mean, they kind of lacked an identity. That's why they're all the way down here at number 20, even with some of the powerhouses that they got in it. At number 19, we got the Colorado Rockies. 87, Charlie Blackmon is their Stage 1. Absolute glitch. Can't field for anything, though. Then we got Ryan Rolison, who 5 pitches, still wasn't particularly incredible. Dante Bichette, pretty good hitter, but, I mean, fielding was awful. Then we get into this Trevor Story, who, like a lot of these, like I've been saying with a lot of these finest cards, is very good against lefties. Can't hit much against righties. Good fielder and good speed, though. I was excited for this card, but I never ended up getting him, and I don't know if I will. But anyway, I mean, Rocky's going to come in at 19. Number 18, I got the Houston Astros. 89 overall, Carlos Correa. This was a very good card at the beginning of the year. I didn't get to use him, but I did see him a lot, and he was a bit of a monster. Then we get into this Jose Urquidy, I think that's how you say his name. And he just wasn't a good Future Stars card. Really flew under the radar with a lot of people. This Jeff Bagwell was really, really good in my all-time Astros. Absolutely smashed the ball. But, again, he flew under the radar extremely. And then we get this Kyle Tucker, which is a bit of a BR glitch. But once again, he flew under the radar. That's why these Astros are all the way down here at number 18. 17, we got the Miami Marlins, 86 overall, Brian Anderson. This card can play a lot of positions, but kind of sucks. Then we get into this Jazz Chilson, one of the better Future Stars cards. I personally loved him when I used him in one of my BR runs. He was a monster, but besides that, I mean, he was just a beast, to say the least. And then we get this AJ Burnett, who was a very solid starter in Stage 3. Then we get into this Miguel Rojas, who is kind of terrible. Can play everywhere in the infield, but is not a good hitter. Got pretty good fielding, no arm, and no speed. So that's why the Marlins are going to come in at 17. Number 16, I got the Texas Rangers. They're carried by one person. But let's go over the rest. We got Finest Lancelin here. Not a terrible pitcher, but again, he flew under the radar like a lot of these guys did. Then we got this Michael Young, a pretty good contacting shortstop. Just never got any attention, and he wasn't that good. Then we get into this Josh Young, who wasn't particularly good at all. I mean, he's got good hitting numbers, but not incredible. And then we get into the man, the myth, legend himself, face of the franchise, Joey Gallo. He carried this. He's the reason they're at 16. If not, they'd probably be at like 22. But what a beast he was. I personally didn't have the same success, but he was an absolute monster when you used him. Great fielding, great arm, great power. That's why the Rangers are at 16. And rounding out today's video, I got the Philadelphia Phillies at number 15. 88 overall, Aaron Nola. Pretty good card. Not good, not bad. This Adonis Medina, I mean, not particularly good either. Then we got this Mike Schmidt, great numbers, just not a good stance. Good, he's got on paper he looks great, the stance was just horrible. And then we get JT Realmuto, who's one of the most underrated catchers in the game. I absolutely love this card when I used him for some of my team builds. So, I mean, this is also kind of carried by JT a little. JT and Schmidt are kind of carrying this one because, I mean, Schmidt still has potential if you can use his stance correctly. But that's going to round out today's video, the part 1 of a 2-part video where we're going to be ranking every single team affinity. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Once again, that's the best way to support the channel, and it is completely free and takes 4 seconds at most. So, I'm United Gaming. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.